This is the news story about a character named Jeff Matthews, who is an arrogant and rigid man. He is working at one of the most established company called Spin Tech, a top-notch company in New York. Spin Tech, where powerful executives like Jeff were given special treatment, and remaining staff doing the odd jobs, like cleaners, were mostly ignored. Well, when there is a person like Jeff who is arrogant by nature, then there is another person as well, who has the power to change the fate of persons like him. In this fast-paced world, karma is about to catch up with Jeff, teaching him a lesson in humility. Emily Dawson, who was appointed as a cleaner, has just dressed quietly, started her job at Spine Tech. But she wasn't just a cleaner. She was the real owner of the company. Few years ago, she had just handed over the CEO role to her real brother, whose name is Paul. Purpose of handing over the ownership is to secretly observe all the activities in the company and to know how the company was running without revealing her identity. All she did was to know how its company was being run behind the scenes. Well, the moment Emily started working over there, she didn't take time to know the attitude of some employees. As long as while working secretly, she clearly noticed how some employees, especially the arrogant guy Jeff Matthews, treated others very poorly. Jeff always remained in a dandy sharp suit, and the reason of wearing such expensive suits were to show off to everyone that he is superior to everyone around him. From the very first glance, Jeff Matthews treated Emily and rest of the lower staff with immense disrespect and considered Emily an ordinary cleaner. As it was Emily's first day, he cunningly pointed out that spotless area, which was already cleaned, and ordered her to clean that area too. He reminded her she should consider herself lucky that he is letting go this time. Emily tried to stay calm and polite, to ignore the situation, but deep inside she was burning with anger, 'cause this was her company, and she didn't deserve to be treated that way. However, at that time she decided to completely stay in her real role by not revealing the real identity for now, to see how things will be unfolded soon in the future. Weeks were passing. Frustration of Emily was increasing day by day, 'cause she learned how Spin Tech was operating inside and out. The employees were great, eager, and smart, but the issue of management was the showstopper. The acting CEO Jeff Matthews engaged in several acts of misconduct that included declining to treat junior workers with respect, and even yelling at board members. Even the head of marketing, named Miss Ellie, was no different. She looked upon cleaners and other staff members as if they are privileged to work for her company. Their arrogance and disrespect were ruining the company's culture. Emily soon discovered another major issue. Mr. Carter, who was the head of finance department, he was currently using company money for her own personal expenses. Meanwhile, Jeff's behavior toward her became worse. He used to roam around her most of time, and used to pass the comments like, she was too charming to be a cleaner, and always tried to hint her. He told Emily, if she follows her all kind of orders, he will give him a better position. One day, he cornered her in the break room, threatening her job if she didn't cooperate. Emily stayed calm, knowing her true power. But Jeff's behavior was crossing the line. Emily was so annoyed by the rude behavior of Jeff. He didn't know that he is humiliating his senior. She wanted to disclose everything right on the spot, but she remained silent and waited for the right moment. She directly contacted his brother and told him, "Jeff is destroying their company." Paul took notice of that. Meanwhile, with the passage of time, behavior of Jeff became more aggressive. Even he started threatening. Jeff cornered Emily in the parking lot, threatening to fire her if she didn't meet him in his office after hours. Emily was just completely done with her games. The next morning, she came to Spin Tech dressed in a sharp white blazer, black pants and heels, and no longer in her cleaner's uniform. Her confident and shocking appearance stunned all the staff, as Paul had arranged a surprising and very special meeting with the board and management, including Jeff. When Emily walked into the conference room, Jeff didn't recognize her at first and mocked her presence. But Emily calmly walked to the head of the table and stood beside her brother, ready to reveal the truth. During the meeting, Paul also presented Emily as the actual owner and the founder of Spin Tech. The room got really quiet and Jeff looked ghostly when he figured out who Emily was. Emily said that she was pretending to be one of the cleaners in the company in order to see how the company was managed. She firmly stated that she was disturbed by what she found, especially Jeff's behavior. At that time, she directly confronted him about his unusual harassment, also the misuse of power, and finally failure to uphold the true value of company. Jeff, shocked, tried to defend himself, claiming he didn't know. But Emily didn't allow him to say a single word and ordered him to keep quiet. Emily stopped Jeff's excuses, stating that not knowing her identity was no excuse for his behavior. Later on, Paul announced in all staff meeting that Jeff has been completely terminated from the job on the spot. He has 1 hour to hand over all the legal matters to Emily. Jeff followed the order and resigned from his post. Office security escorted him to the gate of the office. Due to this, the fight finally finished, which was between Jeff and the lower staff. Then Emily turns to the rest of the board, saying to honest workers that they will not lose their jobs, and those who are not honest will be fired like Jeff. Many of the board members and managers were dismissed instantly. People remained in the room scared and sorry for what has been done. There were only very few people at the end with whom Emily showed mercy and justice. Emily then addressed the remaining honest employees with hope and promising them to rebuild Spin Tech. Thanks for enjoying the video. Don't forget to like the video and subscribe the channel as well.